told the towns who want to.
Good evening, it's May 17th, it's 6:20 PM. I'm going to open up the Dudley Conservation Commission. Members present,
Samantha Costello.
George Slinko.
Jim Kepke.
And Michaelagic.
Next is the Pledge of Allegiance. Pledge of Allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. All right, first on the agenda is Lot A, West Dudley Road. I'll open, it's a public hearing. I'll open it up at 6:21.
Okay, let's see. All good. Peter Engel, McClure Engineering. Proposals for a new single-family home on Lot A, West Dudley Road. It's at the corner of West Dudley Road and Southbridge Road, 131. Basically a four-bedroom house. There's a couple wetlands. One of them seems to, it weeps out of the hill, flows downhill to an existing catch basin in West Dudley Road. There's also intermittent stream across from West Dudley Road. So almost the entire lot is within the 100-foot buffer zone. No disturbance to the wetlands. Septic is designed to meet the 50-foot setback. Disturbance, the closest disturbance is probably about 30 feet to the bordering vegetated wetland. There is an isolated wetland on the property line between lots A and B. And that one, probably about the same, 30 feet. Driveway would be from West Dudley Road. 131 is a state highway, so we would need a access permit from DOT to come in through there. There's a guardrail along that whole stretch, so topography makes more sense to come in from West Dudley Road.
It says Matt recommends the erosion protection proposal is thoughtful to this site. He recommends a standard order of condition, right? So,
Are there any abutters? Any questions from the board?
I say we should issue a standard order of condition.
Well, first, let me close the public hearing at 6:23. Now you can do it.
Second, what?
Now,
Now we can, yeah, okay, so we recommend standard order of condition for lot 1,
West Dudley Road, Lot A, West Dudley Road.
West Dudley Road, lot A.
Okay, a motion's been made and second. All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries. Might as well stay right there.
Yep.
The next is Lot B, West Dudley Road. I'll open it up at 6:25.
All right, so this one is just north of Lot A. It's 200 feet from the intersection of West Dudley Road and 131. Again, on the east side of West Dudley Road, the bordering wetland kind of separates the two lots. Isolated wetland is on that line too, and there's another small isolated wetland on the eastern property line. Again, no disturbance to wetlands. All the work is in the buffer zone. Closest disturbance is probably 20 feet on this one to the bordering and the isolated wetlands. The isolated wetlands, there was originally a road proposed through here that never got constructed. I think they started to clear. There's actually a big loam pile back here, and over time, over the past 20 years, those isolated wetlands just formed, so kind of man-made. But otherwise, same kind of thing, 4-bedroom with a septic and well, driveway off of West Dudley Road.
questions from the board?
No.
What does Matt say on that?
He recommends a standard order of condition for that lot also.
Are there any abutters for Lot B? Seeing none, I'll close the public hearing at 6:26.
Motion we issue a standard order of condition for lot 2.
Second that.
Motion's been made and seconded to issue a standard order conditions for Lot B, West Dudley Road. All those in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries.
Thank you.
Sorry about the wait.
All good.
Okay, next is a request for determination of applicability for 65 Flaxfield Road. Hi.
Hi, I'm Justin. I'm representing the homeowner at 65 Flaxfield. You have the, this. Inspection plan. Extra copies.
Is that what you're talking about?
Yep.
Yes, it is. I'll open the public hearing at 6:27. Thank you.
So we're proposing 3 projects at the property. The first is an attached deck to the house. It'll be a 8x10 deck, second story deck off the master bedroom. The house is less than 100 feet from the merino pond. So that's, I believe, why we had to apply. There's a second deck that we're looking to do at the water's edge. I think that's gonna be one of the more involved projects because of how close it would be. And the third project is a patio right off the back of the house, 34 by 14, which basically would be the length of the house, 14 feet towards the water. And there'll just be 2 small retaining walls at each end, I think less than 4 feet in height, just because of the way grade works out.
Okay, so for the first, your 10 by 8, you could get away with, because you're not digging anything in the ground, it's gonna be supported, cantilevered out, or
It probably would have a sonotube.
one sonotube?
2.
2?
Yeah.
So the second deck by the water, our consultant did look at that, and he feels that after he reviewed everything, a notice of intent,
Is required.
right,
We figured that.
so you're gonna have to withdraw that one.
Okay.
And the other one,
That
the
would be-
attached deck by the house can be released with a negative determination.
So that would be Form 3, I believe, that we, for the one by the water. WPA
I'm
Form
gonna
3.
Guess that, I don't
Caitlin
see
says
that.
yes.
Okay, yes,
Yep.
yes.
Thank you.
There aren't any abutters.
Are there any questions from the board? Are there any abutters present? Yeah. This is not public, it's only
Oh,
most
okay.
applicability. So I don't have to close the public hearing.
All right, so I'll make a motion, that we issue a negative determination for the attached deck, and that you withdraw the second deck by the water and fill out, a notice of intent for that work, okay?
In the patio?
Let's check it.
I didn't see anything about the patio
Oh, it didn't
mentioned.
say nothing on here about the patio.
Yeah, he's not saying anything about the patio.
Is the
so-
patio below the deck, or?
It's below the deck. The length of the house is an existing deck, basically on the left side of the house. And there's like 12 feet left on the right side, so that's where that second story deck would be.
Yep,
And then the
Right
patio
underneath the
goes
deck, so that's-
the length of the house. And the existing deck actually protrudes further than that patio. The only place the patio is listed is on the WPA Form 1. That was on, I know he mentioned not, did you say not seen it on the plan or on the agenda, or? It's on Form 1, I guess.
He's just talking about the second deck by the water.
Oh, okay.
I would say that he's gotta dig, post holes for the deck, but, you know, attached to the house. So he should be able to do the work underneath it,
right,
you know what I'm saying?
yep. So, yeah, you're all set on the patio and the deck.
Do I say I withdraw the other one? Do I have to?
You have to return, yeah.
Okay. So, we will withdraw deck number 2, the detached deck by the water. And we'll reapply Form 3, later date.
Anybody want to second it?
You're the second screen.
Okay.
Okay, a motion's been,
Second that, right? I think you did.
Who made the determination? Who suggested it? We did. I'll second it.
motion's been made and seconded. All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries.
Thank you all.
Thank
Thank
you
you.
for coming.
Okay, next is notice of intent, Stevens Mills sewer and sidewalk improvements. Comes with a book.
Separate set of the.
For us?
Yeah,
That would be great,
yeah,
thank you.
yeah.
It's a little hard, there's not an index in the book.
Yeah.
Want a magnifying glass?
Yeah. That's all the sidewalks.
Matt said that the project is well designed, and that the project is well designed and planned for the DEP, has issued a number with no comments. The application is very complete and the plan's well reserved. I recommend a standard order of condition, as Matt recommends.
Okay.
Yeah, do you want to open to?
Yep.
Okay.
Oh,
So,
sorry.
yeah, no.
Public hearing for, Stevens. Here's my
There you go.
paper. Stevens Mills Sewer and Sidewalk Improvements. I'll open a public hearing at 6:35. Thank you.
Yep, thank you. So I'm Rick Hanavan with Time Bond, wetland scientist, and we're representing Dudley for this project. Yeah, you you've seen the plans. I have a couple of other sort of overview images. Very little of the work is actually in Wetlands Protection Act jurisdiction. The project is on the roads, sort of south of the Stevens Mill facility, between Stevens Mill and West Main Street. The areas that are in resources are a sidewalk on Mill Street, near where the Merino Pond outlet flows into this underground in the Stevens Mill complex, and then one section of existing, work in existing sewer easement heading toward the French River. So, most of the project is not in jurisdiction. The utility work underground is also meets some exemptions. But we did need to come in with the notice because there's a little bit of work in bordering land subject to flooding, and the work in this easement below the mill complex toward the river. That's in bordering land subject to flooding and riverfront area. We are running a new pipe parallel to an existing pipe and installing a new sewer manhole to allow for the replacement pipes to connect to the existing system. This project was kind of came about as part of a study that was performed for Dudley to look at some infrastructure improvements more on a neighborhood basis, and this is the project area, and a lot of the existing sewer lines are on private property in people's backyards in this area. So aging infrastructure, difficult to access when it's in someone's backyard. So this process is both improving the sidewalks and moving the sewer into publicly accessible areas. However, that does require like a second new manhole while the rest of some of these off roadway right-of-way sewer lines are connected to the rest of the system. The area where we're in bordering land subject to flooding is going to be underground utility installation restored back to the existing surface elevation. So there's no permanent above ground change of cuts and fills. The same volume will be there, the same riverfront capacity of that space. It remain, that section's not paved also. It's just an open.
Can I ask you to show us where on this plan, where these manholes are you're talking about and stuff?
Yeah. There's a lot of manholes
The
you
ones
kind of see, but the
You're
one that's the
specifically
most,
talking about.
if we can go to the C306, that's the little spur toward the French River. That is probably the most important part. So, this run is coming behind the Dunkin' Donuts on West Main Street. This is an existing easement. It's running, the name of what this side street is, but it's running parallel to this, and then tying into a main that's running north-south along the Dudley side of the French River. So this is the section where there would be a new manhole installed and some trenching. There's erosion control around the trench during this process, and hopefully that's a couple of day process of installing that and then backfilling it so that it's stable again.
Okay, and then you were talking about a sidewalk. Could you point that out where you're?
Yeah.
Just
Let's
so
go
I
back to
have an
this.
idea.
Yeah, no, it's good. And just try to get to the overview of what the sheet layout is. So it's like 103, 2, 3. So up by, here we go. So get oriented, like this is the outlet of Merino Pond. So Merino Pond is toward
the
me.
dam's right over there.
And it's coming, I guess, south-ish in this direction, and this is the longer 1 or 2 story building that's close to Mill Street. Yeah, and so like this is flowing into a culvert system that's in the mill complex, and this is a section where the sidewalk is getting replaced. So it's in buffer zone, but it's also on the opposite side of the street from the river, so it's not, there's really nowhere close to the exposed parts of the river.
Thank you for pointing that out.
Yeah, yeah, no problem. Could have pointed it out on a bigger board, but sometimes it's easier to.
There's a brook that goes right, right under the mill.
Right,
Yeah, that's what I was just talking about.
So,
It has nothing to do with the soil.
correct, yeah, we're not touching the brook. So and there's like, it's in a pretty deep fill section. The Merino Pond outlet, as it ends and it goes into the mill, there's like a lot of soil above that stone arch. So, you know, we shouldn't be touching, we're not touching the stream there with any of this work. Yeah,
Questions for the board? Any butters present?
I,
I will close the public hearing at 6:40. Would someone like to make a motion?
I make a motion that we recommend the standard order of conditions of the town of Dudley, notice of intent to the DEP to
Motion's been made
second.
and seconded. All those in favor?
Aye.
Motion opposed? Motion carries.
Thanks.
Thank you. Sorry about the wait. Approval of the meeting minutes.
I'd like to make a motion to accept the minutes as presented for April 26, 2023.
Second.
Motion's been made and seconded. All those in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries. I entertain the motion to adjourn.
I'd like to make, before I make a motion to adjourn, I really would like to ask our secretary if there's anything I could help to make it easier for our meetings. I would like to supply some of the paper, if we need more paper, to get through the meeting, rather than being limited to this. If you can make a list, I'd be glad to provide it for our meetings. We donate our time. I don't mind donating a little bit of money to make our time easier here for the meetings. Any other input from anybody?
I think give her a raise.
Caitlin definitely, yes. Doing a good job.
I'd
Not
like
her
to
fault.
make a motion to adjourn unless anybody has something else to say.
No,
I think you're on,
Second.
I think you're on point, Samantha, so.
Thank you.
Motion's been made and seconded to adjourn. All those in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries.